Right, quick video about how to make a shaving horse. I've already covered an outline, haven't actually demonstrated it as I haven't got a tripod handy or someone to hold my GoPro. So an outline about how to actually use one. And for a quick recap, anybody who hasn't seen that, basically it's a quick release clamp and you can put pressure on this bottom rail. And this whole thing, a set of arms swings, and you can hold this wherever you want it to work on it with a draw knife, held in two hands, mostly used towards you, hence draw knife. It's not a spoke shave. This is all made out of green wood, and this design, not really design, it's just evolved. And there is no right way or wrong way to make one of these. There's a completely different design which has a hammer-headed clamp that comes up through the centre of this, then clamps on either side. I like this one. This is probably the most general purpose one you can do, because you can clamp wherever you want, wherever is convenient. And you can change the height of the deck by doing that. So if you want to pop it that way up, work on this, you can do so. Work on this section, you can do so. And if you've got a long bit you're working on, like an axe handle, you can go all the way through and you can work up here. Get it? So this is all made out of green wood, and I deliberately made it so it would be as rustic as possible. As if I was an old bodger going out into the woods, carrying all my kit, all my supplies, building my shelter there in the woods, just bringing pots and pans and my bare minimum to actually survive and be relatively comfortable. So all the bits of timber you would actually find in the wood. So this bit you take with you. For that you'd cleave that out. You can see where that started to bow. This wasn't cleft, this was done in a hurry. It was done with a chainsaw. See the marks, the tips left. But these bits have all been cleft. And with the eye of faith, basically all this comes apart. You might take these with you if you're making another journey or whatever, or you might make them in the wood, because you can make more green. See, they're not fitted particularly tight. It'll all work, it'll all be very convenient. The beauty is if you get it slightly wrong, you can turn this round, see it's curved, and use it the other way round and change the length, the effective length of the thing. This is a bit of oak, that's what I had, but it's rather heavy. So carrying this around to various places, if I was to walk this into my wood for instance, it would be rather heavy. And you can see, again been cut out with a chainsaw, roughly smoothed on the top. See a chainsaw curve there. You can see your legs just falling out. That's the bottom, completely as the chainsaw left it. Oh, this is where the bark was, it's been debarked, and that was a knot. The legs are ash, and they're curved, and they're put in at an angle and driven home, but this is shrunk over the years. And you see they're curved and put in at an angle so they splay out, give you more stability at this end. That end is narrower so that you get less interference with your bottom treadle. Put that back down. Your length is important. If you make it too short with too small a piece of wood, you end up with the thing clamped in like this, and your draw knife working in here, in between your legs, and fouling with your knees. So if it's longer, you can sit back. So if somebody wants to use this who's taller than me, I'm 5'8", this would work for somebody about up to 6 foot. Somebody taller than that we'll have to move these forward where it fouls with these legs more. You can use a single leg on this end if you want, so your fouling wouldn't be a problem. But someone taller than me would have a longer bottom or a longer slab. You don't have to use oak, it's just what I had. You use a bit of ash, or we could use weird stuff like this bit here. There's a bit of cracked willow, and it's very, very light indeed, but it's thick enough and strong enough. Temptation is to make it too thin like a plank. If you make it nice and thick, you've got lots of depth for your leg holes to be blind. You can make it so legs come all the way through and you fit them with a wedge, but then you can't knock them out to carry it around, go to a show or whatever, if that's what floats your boat. These were made rough, made in a hurry, and you can see they've shrunk as they've seasoned because they were done green, and they're now loose. Whereas these ones that were fitted when they were seasoned are much tighter. Trust me, that one's a bit loose. You can also, if you've got your chainsaw, you can chop away at the bottom, especially at this end, in this area here, to make it a bit lighter. This is split where it's shrunk, doesn't really matter, but this end has got to stay parallel, like this one. You see the difference? Because if it swells out at this end, or this end, then this isn't free to move. This can be steel, doesn't matter, whatever works for you. You can make it out of 2x4s from B&Q if you want. So if you want to make one of these, yes, you can go to a design, there's plenty on the internet, or you can just experiment, as long as it's long enough so you're not uncomfortable. And the back legs ought to be longer than the front. Why is that? Because if you make the same length, or even shorter, and you're pushing down on this, your bum tends to shugle backwards. So if you're pushing your backside uphill, you tend to stay in place better. And if you're intending to spend a lot of time on it, you find out where it's right for you. And you can use a scorp or even a chainsaw and make yourself a hollow for your butt cheeks, so it's more comfortable. A little bit like the hollow that you find in an old chair like this one. See it? Excuse my shadow. But this is dished. So, shaving oars. Hope that was useful. And if enough people ask, I'll actually make a video and actually make a shaving horse, because I've had a couple of people ask me to make some. So there's a threat for you. Thank you for listening if you have done to here.